Hi, my name is Adam Zoyama, and this is my full stack Node.js and MongoDB project, a contact API with full code functionality, Swagger documentation, and a deployed frontend. Let me walk you through it. First of all, I'll start with my MVC architecture. I actually put all my what I'll be working in my backend folder, and my I use the MVC pattern to keep my code clean and scalable. For example, now in the route folder is where I have my endpoints like my contact. Then my controller folder actually is where my logic is being defined. So this is the logic that each route is. It includes fetching, creating, and updating or deleting a contact. While my model folder actually is where my model folder contain files of my Mango schema for the contact collection, which includes first name, last name, email, and favorite color. Then the server.js is what ties everything together and saves it to the front end. And then I also have the .env file, which I use to store very important and sensitive information like my MongoDB URI. And also, I load it using the .env. I've added .env and made models to my gitignore. I've added it to my gitignore. I've added .env and my made models to my gitignore folder so that they will be excluded from my GitHub. This will protect the credentials and keep the repo very, very clean. If you check very well, you see that I have a Swagger folder here, which is the Swagger folder is where I've documented all my endpoints using Swagger. At api.docs, you can test for each route, my you can test for each route using it, including get all contacts, get by ID, post, put, and delete. Each endpoint is fully functional and update my MongoDB in real time. So if you come back to actually know if these things that we are doing really work, I now go to my compass to check my MongoDB, and you see that I this is my database I'm working with, and I go to my contact database. While fetching the document, you see that it's fetching almost the same thing we have in our Swagger documents. The ID, first name, last name, email address, and favorite color. So it's visually inspect my database and here and then show the collection of at least by this thing. My compass also help me to verify my APIs is working correctly and the data structure is expected. So now we are going to see who can, if this app will work, when we put it live, we have already connected it here and this app will be checking it out at localhost 88. We see that it's already running the way we put it. But this is our profile, which was the teamwork for the week. We now click on our compact.api and it takes us directly to our Swagger page, which is what we're actually looking at. You see our get contact, put contact, and all the rest. So here is how we save it now and then live. So we also put this on we save it live on our front end, save from the same backend. We dynamically fetches data from our professional endpoints and renders it here. I've added the team logo. For example, now if we check it, this is from our render.com, and then when we open it, the next one, we open that this thing now, we see that it's coming here. So I added the team logo, which toggles it between white and black for visually appealing people and for accessibility. And then my profile is the image of the app of the profile was actually embedded using this 64 images and then the 64 encoding and then this part project my it shows creativity in my design and also the user experience. And then if you click again from render, it takes us directly back again to our Swagger page, but this time coming from a live page. So if we check our GitHub, we are going to see that we have actually worked on these things. If we check from my VS Code, you see that I used Git as my version control and pushed most of what I did. I used Git as my version control and pushed it to my GitHub. Here is my commit history. You can see my commit history here. I've actually used. And I set on my render, I set my root directory to be my backend directory and configured it to build and start command and deploy to the app. The front end is set from the correct path as actually shown in my code. So this project actually demonstrates my full stack skills from secure backend architecture and API design to front end integration and deployment. I followed best practices and documented everything and built a clean functional app. Thanks to you for the teachings and for the trainings and for materials I've actually used. So you check again online on my GitHub online, you see that this shows my commit history of what I've been doing since this project, even 6 hours ago, 3 hours ago, 3 days ago. So the codes are still here on my GitHub. Thank you so much for watching.